My life was spent on the farm about, I'd say, 15 miles north of Council. And it was a great life. Well, my folks came from West Virginia, and they lived at the foothills of the Allegheny Mountains.
So when did they come up from West Virginia?
About 1904.
1904.
Norfolk, West Virginia was where they come from.
Norfolk.
And they had a family of 4 children, and they came to Canada. They worked for different ranchers for a while before they built their home.
Right.
On the banks of Old Battle Creek. Mother went to Medicine Hat to have a baby, and she had twin girls who turned out to be Lena and Laura Wilkes. My folks farmed. They were farmers. They should have never been farmers. Yeah.
They have cattle?
Well, they grew a little crop and had a few cattle, and oh, it was tough going. Lawrence was my father's name, and my mother's name was Bertha. And I often wonder how my mother ever made out with a family of, well, 4 other children, and these twins and just this little log house, but she did. But anyway, I can tell you, I certainly had a great childhood days. And we lived right close to Battle Creek. And in the summertime, that's where we 4 girls, my 3 sisters, and I spent most of our time was in the creek. One time we were in swimming. Of course, we were in our little nude. We had no bathing suit. And we heard a noise, and we looked up to the bank of the creek just above us, and there was a big black Angus bull looking down at us. He belonged to a rancher about 3 or 4 miles away. That just frightened we 4 little girls. We headed up Battle Creek, just like little streaks of lightning, out into the field where my uncle was plowing, about half a mile away.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder to this day, did my uncle help we girls to come back and get our clothes or what went on, because we had no clothes on. We were just out there running in our little nude to get to Uncle Roy. And the old bull wouldn't have hurt us if he'd wanted to come down into Battle Creek and taken to us anyway. Well, then the next big step in my life was school, and it was hard to get to school. I never started school. I was 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was a case of, there was an old gentleman by the name of Lunn. Had a nice gentle team and a 1-deck wagon box, and he picked up many of the little children. There'd probably be about 8 of us, and we'd all sit on our little butts down in the bottom of that wagon box and head to school, which was to the schoolhouse, which is about 7 miles over rough rock roads. But we had great times at school anyway.
Where was the school?
Yeah, beg pardon?
What school was it?
West Plains.
West Plains.
Yes, and school wasn't any fun. It was fun, all right.
You made it fun?
Playing and having fun.
You made it fun?
Yes. We had to walk a distance of 5 miles to go to church. And Mother insisted on it too every other Sunday. So they get an old minister in there, blabbed away. I don't know what it was all about. I was a kid and I didn't care. No, I hope you people aren't too religious.
I think we all remember being a kid in church.
Oh dear. And the preacher, the minister would come to the school there once in a blue moon and preach to we school kids. Well, he might just as well have saved his breath. That's for sure. But anyway, I was going on about this Mother chasing us off to church on Sunday and walking 5
Oh
miles.
my gosh.
It was terrible. No wonder I don't get to church today. My grandfather Wilkes, my dad's father, fought in the Civil War there in the States. He was on the northern side. Yeah, And he said that he fought there in the battlefields of Gettysburg.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And he said he could remember well going back to the battlefield after dark, and he said you'd hear horses screaming and men screaming. Wouldn't it be terrible? And when Grandfather Wilkes got real way up in years, he went blind, and his old friend who went through most of the battles there in the Civil War with him, he went deaf. But I had a sister, Aunt Myrtle, was at home with her father. And he get Aunt Myrtle to play all the old Civil War songs on the organ for him and his old friend. One couldn't hear and one couldn't see, but they wanted these old songs of the Civil War sang. It must have been something too. Life was great, you know, in those dry 30s. It was terrible, but we had all the food we wanted to eat. We grew all of our food.
Wow.
Nobody went hungry.
Yeah.
There wasn't 10 cents to rub together. I remember one time going to town with my brother Ralph and getting a nice meal in Vidora for 25 cents a piece. Now imagine. Yeah, that was something. And my folks, my mother ran the Oxarat post office for, a lot of years, and every 3 months she got a nice paycheck. Now, I don't remember what the paycheck was, how much she got, but that bought material for Mother to sew dresses and dress we girls nice. And she did her very best, dear soul. My times were hard. And do you know, in those dry times, I saw different covered wagons go by our old home and stop on Battle Creek, close to my place, our place, where there was a bridge, and they stopped there overnight for shelter and water their horses and pull out and go on. I sometimes wondered where some of them were going. As the years went by, well, we girls all got sweethearts, of course. We went partying and dancing, and eventually all got married, settled down, which was just wonderful. I just love to go back over my life again.
And so when did you and your husband get married? 1940s?
No, 1936.
36.
Yeah, a long time ago. I was 24, just about 20, well, I think I was 23 years old. And I lived in Graham's uncle's house, which is on Battle Creek over towards Mary Flat. We lived 8 years in that little log house, and it was 8 most beautiful years because I had my 2 first children there, Bertha and Will. Now Mary Flat was my husband and my district, and the post office was there, and we held all of our social gatherings in the little schoolhouse. Well, it's still there and looks ever so nice. It's well kept. But the rest of the district is sad. The old homes, you know, nobody lives there. There are 2 families on Mary Flat, and there used to be about, I'd say, 15.
Wow.
One way and another. It was a wonderful community, and they're all gone. Them homes are. It gives me a sad feeling.
What kind of work did your husband do?
A straight ranch.
Okay.
Straight rancher. Yes.
Okay.
And my boys are both ranchers. They run lovely places. The boys do.
Took after their dad?
Yes. Back in those times, there were not. Twins were quite a novelty.
Yeah.
And therefore we were spoiled.
Aww.
I can remember one time an old friend of ours came to see Lena and Laura. He was an old Welshman. He called us the Wee Twave Barons. And I heard him when he come to the door, when Mother went to the door to me. I ran and hid. He wanted to see the little Twave Barons, and I hid. I didn't want to come out. Finally, I did come out, and He gave us each 25 cents apiece.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he wanted to check us out to see. But we were spoiled. That's all there is to it. And when we go to dances, why, that's where we got into trouble, Lena and I. Somebody say, well, I engaged this dance with you. Well,
Oh.
no, you never. Must have been Lena.
Did you guys ever play tricks on people or no?
Not too much.
You never.
But I played one on my sister once. My sister Gladys was scrubbing the kitchen floor and she had the window open. And she said something to me and I didn't like what she said, so I threw a chunk of dirt in on the floor. Well, my father happened to see what took place. Out he came, full steam ahead. Lena was with me. And I slipped around to the back of the house and Dad gave Lena a spanking and thought he spanked Laura.
Oh.
He couldn't tell us apart.
And your sister ever forgive you for that?
I don't know. She's gone, a dear soul. It wasn't very nice.
She probably never let you live that one down, huh?
Yeah,
Aw.
that's right.
Aw. So you were just virtually identical for most of your life?
Yes, we were.
My gosh. Huh?
Yes. Yeah, Dad couldn't tell us apart. Especially our voices anyway.
Aw.
No. The dances we were always getting. Oh, I have to tell you a cute one now. I'm Lena and my subject. One time there was, the Wiley Ranch was north of our farm about, maybe 5 miles, and they kept a big ranch there. They kept hired men around. And my folks had the post office, so naturally Wileys would come down to our place to get the mail. But they'd send the hired man down. And this one hired man, I forget his name, he was nice looking and a young fella too. He used to come down quite often. Finally he told the boss, Monty Wiley, he said, I'm in love with one of them twins, but I don't know which one. Poor fella.
Oh.
He never got either one of us. But he was in love with us. Know which one, whether it was Lena or whether it was Laura. Anyway.
Aw.
But, there's a lot of drawbacks of being a twin and being too much alike, too.
Yeah.
I remember one time, this is years after Lena and I were married. Lena and Bill lived out in the country, well, Lena and Graham and I, too. And we both come into town, we deal at the same store.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lena and Bill had been in there and got something or another. Lena found out that it was a loaf of bread, it was spoiled or something or another, and she took it back and was real cross about it or something with the clerk. Well, it must have upset the clerk because the next time I come in there, he wouldn't even speak to me. He figured I was Lena back again, you see. And he was sore at her.
Oh.
Oh, no, sometimes it's a good thing not to be too identical.
Well, you guys made it 90 years together through your ups and your downs.
Yes, and we
didn't you?
hope for that.
Mm-hmm.
Dear sister, 90 years. Yeah.